We have a cruise tour today.
Servus! Der 20. kommt nicht mehr. Okay, let's
Yes.
rock and roll.
Yes.
The old tunnel, which is at 1000 meter altitude. On the way, there's two little sightseeing spots. We'll stop on one just above here on the crater, so you can have a selfie with your boat lying down in the harbor below you, and an aerial view of Santa Cruz La Palma. Before heading up to about 800 meters altitude, there's another one. If we're not in the clouds, we'll just jump out and have a few selfies as well. It's obliged nowadays to send all the possible selfies around the world to show the people how well we are doing. That's exactly what we're gonna do today. And then we'll go up to 1000 meters altitude, slide down on the other side, and a little bit up again to see one of the most beautiful viewpoints of this island in Mirador de los Llables. There we'll have a little longer break. I'll give you an explanation of what you see and you can't see. On the other ones, the other first two ones, I'll just leave you doing your selfies. On the third one, I'll give you a little explanation. And when that's all ready, we'll go up again, and then I'll leave you free in the woods there in the middle of nowhere to enjoy a bit of forest life on Refugio del Pilar. I hope it's not too chilly up there, because we've been in the clouds today. Yesterday the world was sunny here, but today the clouds got stuck against the morning. And before, when we finished up there at Refugio del Pilar, we come sliding back down in the direction of the harbor. In total, 2.5–3 hours away from the ship. It's not too bad for an Easter Sunday. Relax, enjoy, and let's rock and roll. On the right hand side, this is the reason why this beautiful city was founded here in the beginning of the 16th century. It's this, if you look well at it, you'll see there's a part missing, the wall that used to stand here where we are driving right now. It all collapsed into the sea when a lot of ice cold water penetrated in the magma chamber beneath the volcano. It went bang, and the whole wall collapsed into the sea and formed a well-protected and very deep harbor. That is what the Spaniards at the end of the 15th century discovered, and that is why the city was founded here, because of this beautiful, perfect, well-protected natural harbor. We just crossed the crater wall, and another one. Nice to be there, lying next to the swimming pool, breathing diesel fumes. That's why it got closed. It got a ruin left behind for many decades, until Manolo Blahnik sent a bit of his well-earned money back to his home island to renovate that family property. And the guys are wondering who the hell is Manolo Blahnik. Most of the ladies know him because he's one of the most famous shoe designers in the world. If you ever saw Sex in the City, you know that Manolos are very popular. Manolo Blahnik designed some of the most exclusive shoes in the world. 5 to 6 to 8 inch titanium needle with pink crocodile leather and ostrich feathers and stuff like that. He's decorating his shoes. One of his shoes might cost 500 pounds. You need 2 of them, so it's quite expensive. But he's still selling well. He's well over 70 now. Still selling his Manolos if you want to have a smile about what Manolo Blahnik is designing and at what prices he's selling it. Then have a Google on Manolos. That's how his shoes are called. In a few seconds we'll make our first unofficial pit stop. It's just a 5-minute selfie time because you'll be up on top of your ship, lying beautifully and patiently waiting for you in the harbor down below with Santa Cruz de la Palma on the background. And if you want, you just put a smiling face in front of it and send that selfie towards somebody is thinking about you. That's the first stop we'll have in just a few seconds here.
Wow.
It's a bit of a truck stop, but the view is nice.
Yee! Oh,
Okay guys,
wow.
5 minutes selfie time. Let's go.
Oh. Where are we? Where are we? In Spain, La Palma. And
What's up,
Princess,
guys?
what's up? Welcome to our tour. Our lovely ship. Nice view. Yeah.
Okay, you're not looking.
Hello guys, look at the grass in Spain. Yeah, it's nice. Nice flower look. Only grass in Spain. So I hope you enjoy watching my vlog. We have a crew tour today. Look, so beautiful. And they have purple. They have purple. This one is purple. Purple.
Okay, because it sounds a bit strange with the mask on. No problem. There she goes. Say hello to your friends who are still
Hello.
working. The poor guys. Okay.
Yeah, it's so nice. Wow.
One day when times will be normal again, and yes, they will, you can visit Santa Cruz La Palma. For those who didn't have the opportunity yet to do it, I'll tell you a bit more of this beautiful city. It's one of the best and most well-conserved colonial city of the Canary Islands, I presume. Certainly the down area of town. It's very cozy, nice little bars, nice little coffees, nice little snacks. And one day we'll be allowed to stroll again. We are allowed, of course, because we're in an almost COVID-free area. We only have 30 cases. The restaurants are open, the bars are open. So we only have to wear a mask when we go out, apart from drinking and eating. But that's still very nice if you look at the rest of Europe, of course. And if you get that stroll one day through Santa Cruz La Palma or the neighborhood, you might want to take some beautiful cigars with you. They used to produce the tobacco in this valley left and right of us. South of Santa Cruz La Palma, the valley is called Las Breñas, and our tobacco, which we used to grow here in this valley, is also called brena. Due to the bad economical circumstances of the Canary Islands in the last centuries, a lot of people escaped here to look for a better future on the other side of the on the other side of the Atlantic, in the Caribbean area, to Venezuela in the 19th century, 18th, 17th century, to Cuba, Puerto Rico. And when it went bad there, for example, when Castro took over Cuba, it didn't go bad for everybody, but for some foreigners yet, because he confiscated everything. When Chavez started to do the same in Venezuela a few decades ago, these guys came all back to the Canary Islands. And due to these economic circumstances we had, due to the centuries, a ping pong of migration. It went bad here, they all went there. It was bad there, they all came back, and so on for centuries. And they brought us nice things. They brought us sugar cane, for example. They brought us rum. They brought us cigars and tobacco. And throughout the centuries, like 3,000 families were growing tobacco and making beautiful big cigars here. Until, of course, Cuba got the name and the fame in the cigar world, and tobacco got that publicity. So the last decades, it went down and down and down and down, and now about maybe 3 or 4, 5 families are still surviving, trying to survive, making beautiful cigars. But if you have some friends who love to smoke a good cigar and really enjoy it, or family, or I don't know, people in the neighborhood, you might well take a few ones with you, because they are from the best you can get on the world market. We still like to use our own tobacco, but we also import dark, heavy, robust leaves from Brazil. From Connecticut we import some of the most beautiful external leaves. They go in this light brown like the Cuban ones. We mix 3 or 4 different tobaccos in one cigar, and that gives for a smoker extremely nice combinations. They're at like 1/3 of the price of a Cuban one, and the quality for me, and I smoked hundreds of them, they're like way superior. So maybe next time with your visit you might want to take one of these cases with you of these famous island cigars.
Wow, so nice. Baka bibili ng sigarilyo si CRUZ. Kasi, tamo, mahal ako niyan. Mahal ako niyan eh.
Dice aparte.
May 5 pa tayo.
Nota mo, napako niyan.
No.
Sabi ko, bibili kami lalaki. Utin. Bibili kaming utin.
Parang mag-Espanyol. Matanggal pa silang peso.
A lot of wildflowers growing everywhere. We just passed one of these fields on the left-hand side. You'll see a bit more of them further. But first, you'll have to pop your head very quickly left and right, like on a tennis court. In a few seconds, pop left, pop right, because you'll cross the old airport, with the control tower still hidden in the woods on the right back end. Here, left hand side, landing right, landing strip and the control tower on the back side on the right. That used to be our main airport until the end of the 70s. It's quite amusing because the road used to be there as well, of course. So when one of these island hoppers that are still flying today, the little airplanes that connect the Canary Islands, wanted to land, two little guys with a big red flag had to jump on the road, stop the traffic. The airplane could land, everybody out, everybody in, and for takeoff, same stuff. Two little guys with a big flag on the road, and up we go. It was impossible to continue, of course, when bigger charter planes were trying to get to the island with tourists. So they dropped heaps of stones in the sea south of Santa Cruz La Palma and made our new airport, which you will see a little bit later. The next stretch of road, you'll notice a lot of these leafless trees left and right of us. It's an anomaly here on the Canary Islands because all vegetation used to be evergreens here, so these leafless trees are imported. They were brought with them by the nuts because they didn't know that, like, Columbus tried potatoes to Europe, but it's impossible because potatoes, as we know them, don't grow in the Caribbean region. They were brought to us by Pizarro 50 years later from Peru, South America, where the potato that we know comes from. So the guys arriving on the island, they thought they were going to get winter like in the northern part of Europe. So they bought their winter staple chestnut trees, were very popular. It used to be a sacred tree for many thousands of years in Spain. And it's very nutritional, has a very nutritional value, those chestnuts. So they brought their trees with them. And nowadays, of course, we don't need them anymore. We got Lidl, we got supermarkets to survive winter, we got even potatoes. So the chestnut tree is still very popular nowadays. But just to taste the new wine at the end of November. Our wine is already not really ready, but you can taste if it's a good year or a bad year. And that's what we love to do with a roasted chestnut. But that chestnut took over heaps of the mountain area of our island. Look left of us, it's a whole wood now, only chestnut trees. Here used to be those ancient laurel trees that used to grow all over Europe. They were chopped down to build boats, houses and other things. And the chestnut took over this area.
Tienes un pájaro en tu silla, ¿eh? Dale un poco de aceite.
Behind the next bend on the left hand side you will see the exit of the new tunnel. It was a God-given present for us almost a decade ago when they built and opened that new tunnel, because we just had an example being stuck behind that track there lower down the hill. This used to be our day-to-day here, because if you know that we live on an island and everything we need, consume and produce needs to come and go by ship, so all these containers used to go about this road up and down to the other side of the island. And you couldn't pass, of course, when it was a two-way lane, a truck like that, so you were stuck hours behind those old slow trucks getting up and down on the other side, and that 4, 5, 6 times a day, of course. And then they dig that tunnel, and since then this part of the road is two-way lane, so it's one-way lane only. So here we can race, put it in fourth gear. It's the only place on this island where you use your fourth and fifth gear, and get some trucks or buses, slow buses behind you. That's exactly what we just did. Unfortunately, one of our viewpoints is here a bit further, so we'll have to stop, and hopefully the truck won't pass us again until we embark. Little minute will be there. Next viewpoint, 10 minutes we'll give them, because some smokers want to smoke a little cigarette. Here we are. Vamos. 10 minutes. If you need 15, it's also good. Just enjoy. It's a beautiful viewpoint. You see the whole east side of the island, and it's not in the clouds like this morning, so just enjoy.
Wow, perfect.
Tunnel, because 90% of the year there's a totally different weather on one side of the tunnel than on the other. The weather is mostly grey where we come from and mostly blue where we go to. So let's see what is awaiting us today. Ta-da! A bit of both worlds. We're going just a little bit down, and we'll leave this road on about 200 meters to go up again to el llano de los jables. It's a big area, totally black almost. Leftovers of one of the first eruptions the Spanish conquerors discovered here, reaching the island. With one of the most beautiful viewpoints of our island there.
Parang Harry Potter lang po.
It's a totally different vegetation here. You might have noticed there's no more this big bushy wet area. It's all pine trees here, dry area. A lot of sunshine, no rain on this side, almost none, except for this year. We're very, very, very happy with the weather this year. We finally got some rain after almost 7 years of diminishing pour downs. When I arrived here 20 years ago, the rains used to start in September, then it was October, then in December, then in November, then in December, and then they didn't come at all anymore. And that for 5 years in a row. So we were pumping out the last drop of the reserves that are in these mountains, and it was about to be dry, even our big reserves. And good for us last year in October, November, December it came down as a God-given present, heavy rain 3 months in a row almost. But that's why everything is so happy. We didn't see these lush green and flower for many, many, many years on our island. It was all dead and dry.
Flowers.
You have to be a bit careful here because it's not a one-way street, so there might be behind the curve something coming down. Luckily for us, most of the time they're smaller than us, not that big, but still. There's a recreational area up there where the people love to go, and now with Easter they might be doing some family reunions and people might have drunk a little bit, so better go slow. On the right hand side behind the bushes you might see a cone, a volcanic cone like you saw in the valley on the other side, just in the middle of your panorama on the right hand side.
Déjalo, si quiere ir al refugio del Pilar con su coche.
Pero makatakot. Abante.
It's not a local because local people know the system. They know their roads. They call them terrorists here, those tourists with a car. It's dangerous sometimes. And lucky for us, there's not too much of them this year, but on our steepy island, it's one of the most steep islands of her size in the world. We are only 50 kilometers north-south and 26 kilometers wide in the north, and we go up to 2,400 meters altitude, so that's not too bad. Quite steepy, that's why we have a lot of these bendy roads. lava stream on the right hand side. And it all came out of that little volcanic cone we just saw there. We'll turn around it with this road. It's called El Quemado. They called it the burned one, the Spaniards, because it was still hot when they arrived here in 1492. The year America was discovered, La Palma was conquered. And this mountain on the right hand side was still hot and piling out smoke. And that's one of the lava streams that came out there. Tumbled down and went straight towards the sea. So we have a few smokers with us. Guys, I told already some of them, be careful because we are reaching points, two viewpoints, one viewpoint and one recreational point where there might be other people. Okay, the law in Spain due to COVID says you have to keep distance 10 meters away from any person when smoking. And you can't move, you can't walk. So I don't think the Guardia Civil will be up here or any of our 3 other police corps that we have. But still be careful because people do respect these unfortunate laws at the present, but that's why we ask you to do it as well as we are reaching more public areas. On the next viewpoint we'll do the same as on the last one. I'll leave you free for your selfies, it's beautiful there. You have, we saw the east side of the island, now you'll see the west side, it's a bit different. And I'll leave you free to do your selfies for like 10 minutes. When everybody's ready, I'll give you another bit of an explanation about the origins of the form of our island, because it's quite interesting. There's something called the tsunami theory of La Palma. The Americans are scared of us, and they have a good reason, and that reason I'll explain you in a few seconds when we're there. The black thing on the right hand side that looks like the backside of the moon, that is El Quemado. 1490, 1491, 1492 he might have had his eruption just before the first Spaniard set foot on our island. ¿Piensas que los baños están abiertos en el refugio?
Yo pienso que sí, yo le pregunté al chico que estaba esta mañana allí, pero dice que abren de las 11 de la mañana a las 6 de la tarde.
Pero los baños también.
Supongo que los baños están abiertos también. No te garantizo que tal, pero dijo que se supone que los baños también, porque lo que es en el fuego no se puede hacer fuego, no se puede hacer barbacoa, las zonas de las barbacoas están cerradas, solo están abiertas, las mesas que están al intemperie. Entonces se supone que los baños estarán abiertos.
Entschuldigung, dass ich nochmal an Deutsch. I'll do it in English. For the smokers again, I'm sorry I'm bothering you again, but watch out with those pine needles, okay guys? Be sure you're standing on hard surfaces when you smoke, okay? And that your light of your cigarette is dead when you leave that area. Because we have huge bushfires every X years, and we don't like it because you go and we stay with a half-burned island. So really I ask you, be careful, because those pine needles, they catch fires just looking at them.
Hilo ka ba? Hindi.
Tingko ako dito. Pwede ba?
Chocolate. We're in the highland, yeah.
Desde la cabeza en las nubes.
Nacieron las nubes ahora por este lado. Mañana estaba todo despejado.
Unfortunately, we got some clouds here that are blocking the view to the right hand side where our national park is, and normally you can see the top of the island with a few telescopes still pointing to the sky there, because we have one of the biggest observatories of the northern hemisphere standing on top of our island, but they're into the clouds there, but still.
Katapat mo. Katapat mo.
Pagod yan.
Okay, this is el llano de los Llables. We'll drop the bus there somewhere. Have a look. It might be a little bit fresh out there, a bit cooler than what we used to, because we're almost at 1,200 meters altitude. And the same thing, if you see something, take your pictures, and then for the people who are interested.
Hello guys! Ngayon nandito tayo sa taas ng mountains. Tingnan nyo yung buhangin nila dito, black, see? Galing sa vulkan. It came from the volcano. But it's cold here because as you can see, there is a fog. That one, this one. They have trees with flowers. So, look at the pine tree. It's so nice. See? Big trees. Look at this one. It's different. Yeah. So, foggy day. Banji!
Hello!
Hi!
Wow, it's so beautiful here! Wow.
Mahiyain si Sir. Sir!
Sir Johnny! He's too shy.
Look. I think this is from volcano.
Yes, from volcano.
Yes, volcano, yes. We're going back to the bus again. Bye-bye. And that's our bus. We're going to the next destination.
Yo lo confundí después de 40 años. Pero me puede imaginar, a bordo no es fácil.
Localist, and he's sitting on one of these telescopes here on top of our mountain and tries to reach or to make contact with a spaceship which is coming back to Earth, but don't know that Earth has been destroyed. So the only good thing about the movie is Clooney, because it's a lot of American heroism, too much for my taste, but still some beautiful scenes have been turned on our island and on top of that ridge, which we unfortunately couldn't see. The last Clooney on Netflix. The Witcher as well. If you saw the series, not a movie, but The Witcher on Netflix, some of these scenes were also located here on the island. We have some beautiful spots if you ever have the opportunity to come back. I know it's not the Caribbean, but it's well worth it. It's a little piece of paradise very close to Europe. Untouched by mass tourism like the other, unfortunately for me, the other Canary Islands that start to look like Las Vegas on the beach. La Palma, El Hierro are still pretty authentic. Wie heißt man, wie nennt man einen Förster auf Englisch? Förster. The next stop, be careful. I told you already, smokers, because the guys responsible for that area, the forest guards, might be there. Okay, and there's a lot of pine needles. So if you smoke, stay on the bitumen. Okay, and deadly kill the cigarette afterwards. The area is open, it's on the right hand side, it's beautiful, it's sunny, enjoy it, load up your photovoltaic cells. You have 20 minutes here. The toilets should be in a building on the right hand side.
Ponte de frente del blanco allá.
Sí, voy a ponerme allá a que pase.
Okay, it's 5 to 4, so at 4:15 we're off. 4 sind wir wieder weiter. Die Toiletten sind normalerweise in das Gebäude da. Ich gehe mit zu sehr, ob die offen sind. Ich zweifle es. Und anders ist es, ja, dritten Baum links.
So guys, these are the landmarks. Because it's pandemic, look. It's so nice, it's cold. But look at the forest, it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I like this place. You better go to the sunny ray. Sunshine. So it's hot. See? It's better to walk, get some fresh air. I will make some video for you so you can see the beauty of it, okay? Let's take some walk. Wow. Look at that. You have a blue sky. Very lovely. Look at this tree. Wow. We're going to the La Venta, the highest point mountain in La Palma. Ah, La Venta. La Venta. Llano de la Venta. 1982. I'm grade 1 that time, yeah. Wow, 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 wow.
It's too cloudy, bakla.
Because I'm cloudy.
You are cloudy.
Yeah, I'm Claudine.
Cloudy.
Yeah. Yeah, they are so happy. Let's see.
Ben je een profi-fotograaf, toch?
Ready?
Oh, look at this, yeah.
You want some? Take your mask off.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So guys, I hope you enjoy our group tour bus. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Just comment down below. Thank you. See you next time on my next video.